Hello and welcome to Aston Martin. This is not on the preview screen because things crashed, so I'm having to redo the intro as well in the middle of recording. So you will join us in qualifying 3, which is where the game crashed. I say the game crashed, the whole thing crashed. So apologies, I have no footage for qualifying 1 or qualifying 2. Jumping straight into qualifying 3. Enjoy, there's rain everywhere. It appears the first part of this is corrupted, and for the sake of bringing you qualifying 1 and qualifying 2, figured it wasn't really worth redoing it. But the upshot is this. Both drivers are in qualifying 3. There was rain in the second part of this. There may be rain still now. I don't know. There's going to be rain in the race. Mick crashed in practice 2, I think it was, and we've only got one more spare front wing apparently. Apparently I didn't build any more, even though I could have sworn I did. So there's only one more spare wing if anything goes wrong between now and the end of the race. But both drivers in Q3, Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc, out because of rain in the second part. Oh, and yeah, no issues overall, by the way. Mick's on 99% acclimatization, but it's still 15 out of 15. Of course, there's rain in the race, so I don't really feel the panic. Obviously, people have been held up here. Albon, Duran, and Lewis Hamilton all have penalties. The one person I do absolutely need to get Mick ahead of is Magnussen, because he doesn't have a penalty. So I am going to have to use Mick Schumacher's last fresh set of softs. Pierre still got 2. I'm going to send Pierre out again, because I don't know what signs Bottas, etc. are capable of here. But Mick can not start the race any worse than 7th because of those penalties. But I would like him to start 6th, minimum. Although Magnussen hasn't helped himself by going about a minute before everyone else. Good lord. And because you haven't been on board with anyone, of course, we'll go on board with Mick. Through the first sector, I may have missed the first couple of corners. He's gone slower. Of course, he's a like-for-like tyre-wise. And of course, I have no idea what that means by slower. There's no interval knowledge. I have no idea what's going on. I think I saw something about intervals in the footage for F1 Manager 23, so I think we're getting something on that regard. It might be just compared to their previous lap, like a little bit more, like the actual interval delta. Pierce on the fastest middle sector of anyone. Perez has only gone 2nd, so in terms of people that can go ahead, there goes Bottas. Russell, I think they would have all had fresh tyres as well, so it's not like the usual situation where they're doing the second run on bad tyres. But Pierre goes even faster, I think. Marginally so. Mick does get Magnussen. He was held up, I think, in Sector 3. That was what the big difference was on his original run. So, 3 drivers ahead of him all have penalties. He will start 6th. That's important. Lovely work. Right, so there's your visual confirmation of those 3 penalties. Perfect. That was Mick's best lap of the 2 dry sessions as well. Kevin Magnussen's Q1 time would have actually got him ahead of him. So there is rain in the race, but it's not at the start. Oh god, that is carnage. It's intervals of moderate and light rain, and it's all over the place. This, and it is actually recording my cursor this time. I realized on a previous video when I was trying to show you things to do with timeline here that it wasn't recording my cursor, but which probably made things a little bit difficult. Apologies. I think up to lap 43 here, you could probably get away with inters. I think this could be inters, this bottom bit here. It may be wets within kind of the territory of the wets will function here. And then this period is absolute madness because I think that definitely is wets territory. And then it goes back into inters territory and then it ends in wet again. So whether that's you go into inters here and then just stick it out at the end, or you go on wets here and stick it out through this period so that you've got the end of the race again. That's a lot of laps. That's a lot of laps to stick it out on unfavourable conditions. Either way, the rain comes at lap 30. Sorry, lap 26. I don't know what my brain was there. The rain comes at lap 26. So I've got to work out which tyre will get me to lap 26. A medium tyre will literally get you to just lap 26. The hard tyre definitely will. So strategy E, a little bit annoying you can't move these strategies around, but I wondered if 2 softs would be faster. Now that is interesting. An early blast on soft to medium would be faster, but the issue is there, whilst it is apparently 10 seconds faster. Why is it saying suddenly now 10 seconds? Whilst that is 10 seconds faster, apparently, I think it's only just factored in the fact it's got 100% tyres rather than 85 if I only do 1 soft. Whilst that is 10 seconds faster, you will end up behind people. So whilst you may do 10 seconds faster overall, and I could push the medium tyres, of course, I am going to be held up. But Pierre is leading, so I could really just push him both stints a little bit. There's a bit of wiggle room there. So I can actually push him at the beginning, push him at the end, push him at the beginning, push him at the end of both of these stints and still get to the rain. Whereas Mick is obviously a lot further in. Okay, are you away as well? Just want to check, where is that wet? Yeah, kind of there, basically. It's probably 1 lap later, actually. It's a kaleidoscope of tyres. I just don't know about this bit. This late dip back into intermediates, because it's enough laps to be worth going on to wets. But then I don't know if it's enough. But then I think it's enough laps to go back onto inters, and then you maybe stick it out at the end. It's all over the place, this race. Oh, don't you love it when it's like this, though? Don't you love it? Because everyone will pit. I think everyone will pit before the rain comes, because the AI will only use these 3 strategies. I am sort of cheesing the AI a bit here. Why am I... Don't know why it's saying... Don't know why it does that. I don't know why it says current tyres not maximum. I just want to see, how far was the medium? It's literally on the 30%, so you couldn't touch it. And it would be slower, apparently. So it allows me to push off the line. It's a bold strategy, but we're going to go for it. We're going to split the ideas and see what works, really. Because, frankly, with Pierre, it doesn't matter. He's won the championship. I can do what I like with him. I can be as bold as I like. With Mick, though, I'm going to play a little bit safer.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
Away we go indeed, as I'm looking at my instructions, apparently. I don't know what's going on there. But Pierre drives off. Mick, a little bit swamped early on, although actually, no, he's doing the swamping. He's now pushed Bottas and Russell out of the way for 4th on hard tyre. I don't know how he's done that. What are they on? But they're both on mediums, so not that much better compound-wise. He's gained 2 positions. 2 positions, Mick, by going between them. Threading the needle, Mick. Now, I do think Russell here, I think that's Russell, has managed to get him back a bit, because Mick's been kind of trapped on the inside there, which sounds like a good thing, but I'm not sure it was, as I'll come back in here. But Mick's still going for it, as Pierre's just driving up, and Mick's still going for it with Russell. He's still going for it. No one's given up yet. Russell's come back again. Mick's got the inside here, though, for these 2 corners. I mean, this is fantastic. Oh, he's also got Sainz for good. What? Sorry, how does Sainz just enter that equation? Do I get the... yeah. How does Sainz enter that equation? He was defending from Russell there, and then all of a sudden, even on the replay, I didn't really see what happened. Sainz just incredibly bad driving, I think. Just like on the absolute outside of the track, not going as quickly as he probably could have. And Mick just went, whoop, I'll have that one as well, thanks. So Mick in 3rd, pressuring Perez. Now, Mick doesn't have a huge amount of wiggle room at the end of this, so I'm going to take him off his tyres. I'm going to take Pierre off his tyres as well now as well. He's 2 seconds up the road. Honestly, I think it's better if Mick isn't challenging Perez here and just sits behind him by the time DRS actually activates, because then he'll just get him in a DRS overtake, and that might launch him further up the road than this. Mick's going to Mick and going to fight. I mean, it's great racing from Mick, nonetheless. Verstappen and Leclerc, because of the penalties, actually started probably 11th and 12th, I think. Maybe they started 10th and 11th. Oh, no, because there was the 4th person with a penalty ahead of them, which I think was Stroll. But Albon, Doohan, and Hamilton. Hamilton's penalty only seems to take him behind Verstappen and Leclerc, unless he's gained a place. Albon are doing a little bit further back, and Stroll probably back of the grid, and he's got Sargent off the line. But there's DRS. Now, I'm not certain if this is double DRS or separate DRS. I know it's main straight and then this straight that he's coming onto now. So if he has DRS now, then I know it's separate DRSs. There we go. Well, this is kind of what I was hoping for, because I figured this would be easier for him to go off track and overtake. But Pierre's just buggered off now. Bye, Pierre. Well, this is the plan for Pierre. Build up enough of a gap so that you're not at the back of the grid when you actually do need to pit. Where are the gaps, incidentally? Nowhere. Everyone was in DRS. Now, I somehow doubt that Mick's going to be faster than Perez, but I mean, don't get me wrong, Mick's gone from 6th to 2nd. I suspect they'll be fighting back here, so we'll speed things up, because I know this is going to be a back and forth, or back to 4th, as the case may be, as 2 drivers use their DRS to get past. But Mick will challenge and Mick will fight. He's actually still on Sainz here. Well, that was quite comedic in 2 times speed. Sainz just vanished from the track. I want to see another again, because I feel like that might have been happening because they were fighting. Because he was suddenly he sort of managed to get back ahead, and how he didn't actually collect Mick there, I don't know. How he didn't get Mick in that, I have no idea. Incredible awareness from Mick Schumacher. Sainz has got going again, but I suspect he doesn't have a front wing, and he now will pit. Which ironically will actually probably get him to the rain on 1 more set of tyres. Shogun Du did the fastest first sector, probably because of DRS. But 1:12.5, 1:12.8, he's not going that much faster than Perez. But that might have been because it was DRS assisted. I'm just intrigued to see where Sainz comes out time-wise. Waiting for that front wing. Fuel's burned off relatively quickly there, so we'll take that fuel off as well. Can we have an interval, please? Obviously, he's going to be more than a pit stop behind, but he'll probably get it. He's gone on hards, which will get him to the rain. Mediums would have got him to the rain, in fairness. Anything but a soft would have been fine there. So we will turn our attention back to Mick Schumacher, who will have DRS, of course. There is a break in the chain at Ricciardo now, as both Verstappen and Leclerc are now in the points thanks to Sainz. As Mick now fights Sergio, and let's see if Sergio manages to get through that corner unscathed. I think he has. There we go. Hamilton's fighting Leclerc. Verstappen's got Ricciardo, who was obviously at the front of that queue. I don't know why it says Perez overtakes Schumacher. I didn't realise Mick had got ahead at any point there. But I'm intrigued to see what happens now because of the... I thought you were supposed to pit on lap 9. Or the pit window is lap 9, so you pit on lap 12? Lap 12, okay. So we've got to try and build up as much of a gap to leader, because right now they do come out 19th, obviously ahead of Carlos Sainz, who is 44 seconds off the lead. I'm intrigued to know what he thinks the considerations are for this. 22 seconds. So at the very least, if they can clear the Williamses at the back, that would be great. Because they won't be pitting that much later on, I don't think. The space between the two dots seems a lot bigger than the actual interval is. That does not feel like 6 seconds. But apparently it is here at Sao Paulo. But I can go aggressive for 4 laps. Looks like Mick and Perez are just swapping over a lot now. Please, can we... Still 19th. I'm really... What was the last lap of those Williamses? Is he still going faster than them? He is. I think he might be good for an extra lap here. I don't really care if he's going faster than Perez, but it's kind of everyone down here that I'm hoping he's going faster than. So I think if Pierre can get another lap in and then pit onto mediums, go full attack on this lap, Pierre, go full deploy on this lap, try and get him out ahead of those Williamses minimum. 21.5 seconds is the interval as things stand right now. If we can get that to 22 and above by the time he actually pits, sensational. Mick's down to 4th. What's happened there? I guess Mick got to the front and then 2 people overtook him again, as is the way. Okay, so Tsunoda is now 22 seconds ahead, behind, I should say. So at the point of crossing when he entered the pits, that both the Williamses are more than 22 seconds behind, because obviously he only does the interval when both cars pass the same point of the track. So I think he's going to be fine in that regard. He's going to come out of the back of that train. He can aggressive to the back of them. So he's 12 seconds off the lead now, and everyone else will probably pit before the rain comes. So Ricciardo remains the only break in the chain, unfortunately, or Hamilton now. So yeah, unfortunately, there's still only one break in the chain. Whilst he's at the back of this, I'm just going to let him harvest up a bit. Probably don't need to go aggressive on these tyres just yet. Just going to use this sensibly. They will be going slower, but if he can make up any places whilst he's doing this, I don't think it could be any harder in Vettel's gearbox. Well, there is one way, but I don't want to tempt fate, as I think Sargent runs wide, and that's about that. I think Gasly's pushing Vettel that hard. Vettel's dangerously getting close to falling out of DRS. He has done, but he may have been within the range of the checkpoint. I don't think Vettel's in DRS this time. He isn't. Come on, Pierre, get him.
Good. Got it.
That was the whole point of that. Now, Pierre, get onto the back of Stroll. Which you've done. Pierre going the long way round Stroll there. That was incredible work. Went around the outside, although Stroll's having another go at him, but give it up, Lance. He's also got Jack doing for good measure. I'm actually going to rewatch this one because it was a really good move. You don't really get to see the full majesty of it because he had to go essentially almost off the track round the outside, which became the inside. Then leaves a little bit of a door open for him to have another go back, but in the end I got him the AlphaTauri, as other people are now pitting. There's an incident that has been called to my attention, apparently. I don't know what. Just going to harvest up a little bit on the back of Albon. To leader, Gasly's actually nearer the leader than he was when he pitted, remarkably, despite being, trapped in this traffic. Fastest lap, that'll be part of it. So going to give this another lap of harvest. He might have a pop at Albon anyway. Another moment in sector 2. I don't know who that is. Russell ran wide. Oh, we'll watch that one. Or not. I mean, I clicked the button to watch it. Verstappen spun. We'll watch that one then. In the middle of this train, just... Whoop, there he goes. There's Pierre. That's one less person for him to get past. He's actually on the back of Leclerc. He got Albon in all that. Whilst harvesting. And now he's got Leclerc. Whilst harvesting. Stop harvesting now. Get on the back of Ricciardo. We can obviously push these tyres a little bit, so we'll just push them to Ricciardo. And there we go. Max is still in 5th, by the way. I think he had a little moment earlier. I saw him pop up on the notifications, but it seems to still be up there. Pierre having go Ricciardo, and then should have DRS on Hamilton. Pierre's getting his overtaking points in, nice and early. So it's 5 seconds to Russell. Schumacher overtakes Perez. This is all DRS. I'm not watching those ones. Now, bear in mind, everyone's pitted here, so everyone on the mediums still should, in theory, pit before the rain comes. They should put this lap or next lap. Whether or not they are aware of the rain and the AI is being sensible and actually is going to extend them into the rain is a different question. But the rain should be coming in 4 laps time, as per that notification. So Pierre is closing up. I'll just check our forecast, see if that's changed. We still have 100% forecast accuracy, so in theory it should be on point. Just going to pull him back off a little bit, just not to burn through the tyres too hard before he gets there.
Rain still coming.
Mick and Perez still swapping over at any given opportunity. Now, marginal problem here is our drivers are exactly 4 seconds apart. So we are going to have to double stack here or go on different laps. I almost want Gasly to hold firm there. If everyone else pits, I would just quite like Gasly to stay there. So then Mick comes out in first. But not a lot I can do about it. In theory, this should have been 10 seconds faster. But it wasn't quite, was it? obviously harvesting and being held up was the difference there. I mean, he's having a go at Russell, of course, who doesn't have DRS because he span earlier on. Now, there is an argument here that the rain is in theory coming next lap. Gasly's now 2 seconds off. That's Perez in the grass over there. I just saw it on my right hand side. I just saw it as he went past there. Because Pierre's behind. But not that nasty, Crofty. But I'm wondering if Mick can push these tyres, because the rain should be coming momentarily.
Stop lifting coast.
I think if I can get Gasly to pressure Bottas. The rain hasn't come yet, so I'm just ignoring that. Perez has just gone again. I mean, this is optimal for Mick. No, I think he spun, not crashed, yeah. Mick did that in practice as well, but obviously that doesn't cause any damage. Oh, Zhou Guan Yu crashed in qualifying 1, but his car seems to be okay. And there it is. I'm going to have to double stack. There's no two ways about this, I don't think. That feels like it's coming down more quickly than 1 lap would be. It feels like double stack would be less time off Pierre than forcing him to do another lap. So it's 1.2 seconds between the two drivers. Bottas continued on because Russell's got priority. I really wish the AI would understand. You throw out first drivers in these situations. So Mick serviced 2.4. That's fine. So Gasly's going to be held up that much. He's behind Russell again, but that's as far as it goes. Perez, of course, has been sacrificed to Verstappen. It feels like Leclerc's been sacrificed to Sainz. Again, AI nonsense, but. So Mick's come out of that in seconds still. Only Bottas ahead, and he's been sacrificed for Russell's sake. So Gasly's going to be stuck on Leclerc. The guy anyway. I was going to try and deploy through him because I figured that was more of the hold-up. Getting stuck on Leclerc there. 10 seconds behind Mick now, which is great for Mick. But this is getting a lot closer. Oh, yeah, because it's going to go into it and then back down into intermediate is what my thinking is. I may have got this wrong. I mean, the good news is that there's a fair amount of people who are now a full pit stop behind. Someone's crashed. Oh, there's a safety car. Damn. That's actually the worst case scenario. It's a crash between people on dry tyres. Unsurprising, really. It's... Well, the Williams is out, that's for certain. I can't see the aftermath of the AlphaTauri, so I don't know if they've continued on, but the Williams is certainly out. Sergeant Jack Doohan is still going. In a weird way, the safety car is helpful for the tyres because the entire wet laps are going to be behind the safety car if it actually does tip into wet. Actually, it's good to know that this is just shy of wet here, this peak. So actually, it's not actually going to get into wet, I don't think. So this is barely wet up here. Oh, is that worth going to wets up there? Now, of course, the safety car is going to benefit all those people who are sacrificed for their teammates because it will allow them to get caught back up again. But positions-wise, they've all been done in still. It's going to take a while for everyone to get caught up here. Oh, that's such a shame because Bottas was so far behind Gasly and now he's going to be right on his tail again. Verstappen's 6th, but he was so far back. We had a pit stop on them. So Mick will be the restart. Jack Doohan is going to be let through. Okay, that's fine. Just stick them on harvest so they don't use it more than anything. So whilst obviously I'm being told the energy has been fully charged. Next lap, maybe? I don't know if they'll wait for Jack Doohan. They will wait for Jack Doohan. Oh, no, they're not going to.
No overtaking.
Go for it, lads. Go for it. I mean, Jack Doohan did cause the incident, so karma, I guess. But I do always feel a little bit sorry for the one that's been left behind there. Although he's technically going to have the momentum onto this main straight, so he may catch up a significant amount. So Mick's just bolted from Russell there. I was tempted to put don't fight teammate on Gasly just in case he got past Russell straight away, but he seems to have status quo'd it a little bit. So that's it, Gasly. You forced Russell to defend. Someone's run wide already. Can't see if it's brought Sainz back into the equation, actually. He's 15th. Hamilton ran wide. I don't think it actually affected anything. He's still 7th. Okay, so Gasly got Russell. We'll watch the highlight. Why not?
Look at this.
On the inside there. Lovely move. No fuss. Just pops past him. I love how Crofty says muscles his way through as if it wasn't one of the cleanest overtakes of all time. But he's a second half behind his teammate. I've put don't fight teammate on just in case he does catch up. I'm hoping he doesn't, but he probably will do. Pierre's outright pace is probably better than Mick's. I'm wondering if this is just now all intermediate, which would require another round of intermediates at some point, I think. It all depends if that bit in the middle is long enough to warrant wets. Because this didn't actually go into wet territory, so that peak, I think, is basically 4 there. So everything above this line is 4. So it's going to be wet briefly there, but then come back down into intermediates. Just, I think. But that bit there is going to be wet. It's the low point is certainly strong enough to go back onto intermediates in the low point. Hamilton got Verstappen. 2 wet weather masters, of course. Just to bring Gasly's pace down, I'm going to take him off his fuel now. I'm going to let Mick run to 0. But we'll use Gasly as a rear gunner for Mick, I think. They are slightly pulling away from Russell. But if we are going to another set of intermediates, we can't push the tyres. As Vettel goes walkabout on the final... turn 1, actually. He's in the final position. That's what threw me. They've called it turn 15. It was turn 1. But yeah, we'll use Russell as a... We'll use Gasly as the buffer to stop Mick getting overtaken. I feel bad because Pierre could just drive off, I think, but Russell is catching.
Keep them behind.
Pierre goes full wingman and is going to slow these cars behind. I have faith he'd be able to re-overtake them if they actually accidentally overtake him. So there's no DRS, so I don't really worry them. I'm not really worried about them. Don't really fear them, I think is what I was going to say originally there. Verstappen got a problem. He's got a full front wing. But Hamilton got through him earlier. Now Perez has got through him. And they're both 3 seconds off, Hamilton. So I'm intrigued to know what's going on there. Done a faster lap than him as well. All right, that's put a bit of a buffer between Mick and them lot. Now I'm slightly concerned they're going to get past him because they are quite close. Someone's had a moment. It probably was Ricciardo, judging by that gap. Or around Ricciardo. Jack Doohan at the back, actually. Never mind. So this is where it's going to get wetter again as Zhou Guanyu goes walkabout as well. This is where it gets wetter again. I think it's only just going to tip into wets. Just going to stop Russell having too much of a look there. Just about managing the gap to Mick, just letting him drive off, but also making sure Pierre isn't vulnerable. It doesn't matter where Pierre finishes, really. But if he can finish second, I'm not too worried about the Mercs now. It has just gone wet. So 1, 2, 3. I'm intrigued to see if anyone blinks. Unfortunately, there's no one in the pit lane. I don't know if any of these guys on the back are actually in a spot where you can see the pit lane. No, you can't because it's higher up. But yeah, I don't know whether that's going to be worth it. Could always pit Pierre. The McLarens are out. That was it, I think. I saw the pit lane and the McLaren pit crew were there. Ricardo's in. I thought it might have been a Red Bull at the far end as well. Both McLarens are coming in. They're far enough apart, I think they can actually double stack. But interesting, though. So the McLarens have gone for it. Everyone else is stuck, which I think is the right choice. If 4.4 is this peak, then actually that's probably 4 there, the next little bit, then we're back down out of it. So Sainz has got his way back up to 11th, just thanks to that safety car. So the McLarens will benefit from this overall. Well, no, they don't benefit when everyone else pits. And if it was to stay wet, they're not going to benefit. They'll benefit now, but oh yeah, whilst we're in this wet period, Mick's going to be massively disadvantaged. So I really need Pierre to hold people up. And just so he doesn't tell me optimum pit stop, I am going to switch the strategies over. Unfortunately, because of this, we're sort of creating one train to 10 momentarily, as I suspect Magnussen will get caught up eventually. But if we can engineer a race victory from Mick here, massive bonus to his fight for third. Verstappen being 8th is actually almost a full race victory over him, which is what he kind of needed. Oh, right, okay. I think we're still going to need a pit stop. Whilst we are doing better on our tyres than anticipated, I think we are still going to need a pit stop here. Albon got through Bottas. Oh, Verstappen's... Oh, doesn't really make a difference. He's still on the back of that train. So yeah, whilst we're in this wet period, I think it's benefited Norris. I don't think it's benefited Ricciardo as Bottas has had an incident. We'll watch that one because he was with us. So he'd already been taken by Albon and he's just driven straight off the track. And paused there briefly. So that's Bottas out of it, which is actually bad news because it puts Verstappen up a spot. So I think overall, going on the wets has benefited Norris, who I think was in this ballpark to begin with. Ricciardo wasn't. Ricciardo was in the top 10, I think. So it's not benefited Ricciardo, I don't think, but it will benefit Norris as we're now back into intermediates. I think everyone should probably pit again off these intermediates. Whether they will, I don't know. Because this is tracking better, but I think it would still track perilously close to 30% by the end. To the point where pitting would actually give you the pit stop over it again. 16th is the estimated position right now. So that's Vettel. So it's behind Tsunoda. If we can get... What's Tsunoda's lap time? 1:22.2. He's going faster than Mick. What?
You can stop lift and coast.
Mick's actually... You can see the difference in the tyre capabilities, by the way. Mick's got 3% better tyres right now. So I'm going to go full attack on Mick's tyres for a couple of laps. Make sure he can clear Tsunoda. He's at a 1:19 there. Now that we're back in intermediate territory, I think we might be right. What's Tsunoda's lap time? That's the important one. Because there's a big old gap up. Never mind. Now he's going to wait for that entire top 10. Plus more, maybe. I don't know. Is he going to wait for Ocon as well? Why do I bother? I'm not going to watch it. Why do I bother? Well, now you attack it anyway. We'll see. You're going to be better than these. I don't know. I don't know why they're fighting. As Doohan's gone off again. You can see, we're in intermediate territory now. I don't know why these wet tyres are holding on. All that... Oh, yeah, stop holding up the cars now, Pierre. Get Russell back, you moron. That's not me, really. So what's your pit window now? 19th. That is Jack Doohan. And Jack Doohan only. Yeah, I see the problem. I want to see what this one full lap is. Nice one, my bird didn't make a difference. Of course, I can pit these both on the same lap now. I would quite like you to get Russell, Pierre. Either an overtake happened back there or someone went wide, involving Verstappen, I think. Oh, Mick, you don't help yourself, do you? Just realised Pierre's got charge. Go for it. Right, we'll put Pierre in this lap. Oh, it did what I wanted to do. I wanted to get Mick out just ahead of Stroll. That's why I slammed everything on him. I'll deploy him away from Stroll. As if there was DRS, I was doing that, really. So Pierre got the lead, but he's going to pit because those tyres will not get to the end of the race. So Gasly will drop into 11th. well ahead of Sonoda, which was kind of the point, and well behind Ocon. So a lot of free air for him to drive into now. Don't really need to slam these tyres too hard. Might go aggressive for a few laps with Pierre, but one would expect him to be going quite a bit faster than everyone else once he does a full lap. We'll see what Mick's full lap is, as he has actually really got close, a lot closer to Sonoda, Vettel, Joe, I think it is, ahead of him. Mick did a 1:15.2, Sonoda's doing a 1:17.3. That's the difference. We'll harvest it up a bit with his ERS. So Ocon did a 1:16.4. Apparently someone went off, I don't really know how. I was going to harvest with Mick, but people have pitted, so I kind of want to get out ahead of them if I can. He's ahead of Sainz at least, but still behind Verstappen and Bottas. Go on, Mick, have a go at Vettel. Your mentor, mate. Let's get him. Yeah, boy. I just like to think Vettel waved him through there just for the narrative, but lack of battery is a problem here. It's unfortunate that Bottas and Verstappen came out ahead because they're just going to drive away. Gasly came out ahead of them, which is the important thing. He did 1:13.8, Gasly. So now it's a Zhou Guanyu to get. Mick's ahead of Sainz, which of course is a rival in this fight.
We're not okay on fuel.
We will be okay on fuel. 14 laps to go. We can easily save that. No problem. As soon as you get Zhou Guanyu, I'm going to take him off push. God's sake. Get him, you idiot. Right, there we are. Problem solved. Get to the end of the race, don't have any problems. How have you not caught Ocon yet? As I don't really know. So Gasly's ahead of Perez now, as well as Perez pits. Behind Albon. Russell's come in and now again. Look at what Gasly gained there, by the way. Oh, for God's sake. Well, he's out this time, I think. You could have won this. That is the slowest crash of all time. He's still going. Do you even have a front? I presume I need a front wing here. Yeah. Oh, well, we might as well pit him and hope for more incidents, but... Oh. Conserve your fuel on the way to the pit stop here. Surprised he's still going, actually, but magically his tyres fixed as he enters the pit lane. Interesting. I could have put him on wets thinking about it, because it is going to get wet at the end here. So Mick is now dead last. Just conserve a little bit, Pierre, because you've got 10 laps to catch these two at the front who haven't pitted for God knows whatever reason. You do still need a bit of fuel. There we are. Pierre might lap Mick. That's how badly the last 10 laps have gone for Mick. Pierre might lap him. He's not that much further up the road. I need a safety car. Yeah, I should have put him on wet tyres. I don't know what I was doing. I'm not going to risk another incident with him. I don't want to break the car for financial reasons more than anything. Oh, Gasly got Magnussen there. I think being on intermediate tyres in wet conditions is... Being on better ones is help there. So it's wet conditions. I think Pierre being on better intermediates than Magnussen right now is just sailed him past him. He was catching anyway, of course, just because of the relative tyre quality. But especially in these now actually wet conditions. I think it's actually wetter now than it was during the peak earlier, and he's now on the back of Hamilton as well, so we'll switch back to him. Pierre's going to win this race. He's got 7 laps to make this overtake, and he's 2 seconds a lap faster. We're not going to force him past him, but we'll go on board. Why not? As I think it's drying up again. Has Magnussen fallen into Bottas yet? No. Magnussen might survive the rest of this race, actually, in third. I'm not fully certain how much faster Bottas is going than Magnussen. Oh, no, he's going 3 seconds faster. Magnussen will get caught. So it's looking like Bottas third, despite his earlier incident. Where's Russell? 13th. How the hell did that happen? All right, so Pierre's picked his moment on Hamilton there. Yeah, Bottas is catching Magnussen at a rate of knots. Albon's still keeping Verstappen and Perez at bay. And Sainz and Leclerc, thankfully, are 9th and 10th. So Mick's closest rivals are 8, 9, 10. Pierre has fastest lap as well, so he's not even getting that. As we're back in intermediate conditions, I'll go aggressive on Mick's tyres again now. I'd just like him to be not last, really. Or lapped, for that matter. Verstappen going wide, I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not. Because it does give Perez more points. But Perez was the one lowest down. Actually, Sainz has gone up to 6th. How's that happened? I think Ocon must have gone off, because Ocon was 6th. I missed Ocon going off. Oh, is Ocon still on his original tyres? Ocon's on his original tyres. He's just fallen through it. Hamilton's on 18%. That's why I pitted. It's crazy they haven't gone. Bottas is going to 2nd. Albon might get 3rd here on the final lap. So Pierre wins. I do. You were first to start with. Oh, Mick. What are we going to do with you, Mick? You had that in the back. I've just skipped the podium. Hamilton held on. I'm that despondent with Mick. I just completely skipped the podium. Apologies. But Pierre, full roster of 27 points that he doesn't need at all. Max gets 2, Charles gets 4, Sainz gets 10. That's a problem. Sergio gets 6. He was the furthest behind, I think, to begin with. So it's not the worst thing in the world. But I really wish Max Verstappen. I really wish Mick had won that race, because that would have put him pretty much almost on par with Max. And Abu Dhabi is double points. Abu Dhabi is double points. So that was why there were no notifications at the end of USA. But there was still no notifications at the end of Mexico, which would have still put us in the same boat, because it would effectively still have been 3 races worth of points clear, with 2 races to go, 1 being double. Ocon has jumped by 2 drivers, despite actually scoring a point. Tsunoda's still pointless. AlphaTauri respond to Haas's late charge there, as Ferrari get more points than Red Bull, with Abu Dhabi to go and double points. 6 points is their gap. Obviously, we've won that now. And yeah, Pierre's 170 points ahead. Even with double points, that's 54. So yeah, whatever. Mick needs to get 4 more points than Charles in the final race for that to then double and get him again. I think unless Max doesn't finish that last race, there's no way of Mick getting ahead of him. 999 points. Surprisingly, still 900 points for Mick and a development point. It feels like shade from the game. Here, have a development point. Get better. Surprised Pierre didn't get one there almost. He might get one in the final race. We'll improve his control, shall we, in reaction to that? I was bringing his overtaking up, but well, Ollie Behrman still needs smoothness. But yeah, 1 race to go. Yas Marina, here we come for the final race of the season. Can we get Mick back into 3rd? That's the main thing. That's what we need most of all. It's the only thing we can really fight for. So I will see you for that one. I just realised that actually makes things really tight between McLaren, AlphaTauri and Haas down there, because if one of them can score serious points that then get doubled, they're in danger. AlphaTauri got really close to McLaren there, now I realise it. But yeah, they could easily leapfrog each other. Alfa Romeo and Williams still somewhat in the mud. Abu Dhabi, 1 thing to play for. I will see you for that. If you enjoyed this race, and if you want to commiserate with Mick, do like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, ta-ra.